Welcome to Agapa Freedom Community. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a special guest, Al Callejas Jr. He is the coach for the Holy Cross boys basketball team this year, first year head coach. He was the assistant coach for several years under his father, Al Callejas Sr. at Holy Cross. So his father was very successful in his career as a coach, and to see Al take over the position when his dad retired is very exciting. It is to see what Al could do with this program. So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to interview him tonight and hear what he has to say. So here we are. Without further ado, here's Al. Thank you for joining us tonight, Al. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. We're excited to have you. First year head coach at Holy Cross. You guys are doing very well. I know you have 2 losses. How many wins?
14.
Wow, that's pretty good.
14-2 and 8-0 in the league.
Wow. Pretty impressive. Good job, man.
No, it's not me. It's everybody. It's just as being a coach yourself, it takes a team and it takes a lot of people. Off the court, it's my wife, my kids supporting me, letting me do what I love, and it's my assistant coaches and certainly the players. You want to put your players in the best spots to be successful, and it goes from there. And they carry the coaches in a lot of ways. So they've initiated this culture and playing together and winning, and they've been successful so far.
Definitely true. I believe that. And for the players, you can't do anything. Players don't want to play for you and perform, and they don't trust your program or don't trust you or what you have to offer for a program at all, and your vision and what means to be successful. They don't believe in it. You can't go anywhere. Yeah, that's true. Great point. So I'm gonna get to my first question tonight. So,
All right.
you ready for this?
I'm ready. I think so.
What's your favorite sports movie?
My favorite sports movie. Now I am not like I watch movies, but I am horrendous at knowing like actors, actresses, remembering the names of movies, everything in that. But it's probably going to be quite obvious, but I got to roll with Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
As in sports movies, definitely Hoosiers. And it's one that I'm a guy that, typically doesn't like watching movies like more than once. And that one I'm on at least 5 times. So I'm going to go with Hoosiers.
That's a good one. I think mine was, I know it's not about me, I think Glory Road, I liked a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Or Carter, is it Carter? Is it something?
Coach Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I liked a lot too.
Yeah.
Inspiring. What's your favorite local restaurant?
Wow, these are not easy. I'm a huge foodie guy. So, usually now with the season, we play Monday and Thursday. So my wife and I will usually go out on Friday because that's typically been our off day. Oh, man, if you're going to go, my favorite, so I live in Archibald. My favorite is in Jessup, small Italian place called Pietro's.
I wonder if I've ever been there.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a small setting, and the food's outstanding.
Gotta check it out sometime soon, definitely.
Yeah. We'll provide. Maybe we'll provide. I'll set up a dinner with you.
Yeah, definitely. We could do that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely. Would you have like a favorite musician or band?
So music is definitely my an area that I don't know much about. So I'm more of an old school guy, probably from being in the car with my dad. I'm a Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen fan. But again, when I was playing or working out, I was always listening to hip hop. But now at 45 years old, I'll still listen to it, but I don't know it as well as the kids I coach now. So we'll stick with Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen. And I got to make a Billy Joel concert because I know his residency is up in New York City soon at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that's good music. I like them too. Definitely. So this next one is interesting. We always have this one person, right? If you could have coffee with one person, either from the past or present, who would it be? And then what's the one question you would ask him what's the one question you would ask them?
Okay. So wait, now I gotta ask now. So is there going to be another question like about a favorite athlete?
No, there won't be. But you could anybody. Who do you want to have coffee with? From someone from the past or present, and what's the one question you'd ask them? Anybody.
Okay. So you're gonna find this out. So my favorite basketball player ever is not someone that's popular. So I'm a huge New York Knicks fan, and I also love St. John's basketball. So he was a commentator. I don't know, Mark Jackson.
That's good.
He's always been a guy that I followed when I was growing up. When I was 10, he got drafted in 1988. Was Rookie of the Year with Knicks, and I'm a huge New York Knicks fan. Besides Holy Cross, I tape and record every Knicks game. I watch every Knicks game, and he got Rookie of the Year, and it was just the enthusiasm and the way he played the game. Again, my game and his game is not similar, but it's just someone I gravitated to. I love the way he showed enthusiasm, confidence, and a belief he had in his teammates. If I was to ask him a question, I'd want to know what he, again, some things they do, but I'd want to know what he went through, growing up in New York City to get where he was, to be a college graduate and a successful NBA player and a successful Christian and family man.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Yeah, definitely. What people go through, I'd love to know that. To know someone on a personal level and what they went through in life to get to where they are. Yeah, that's like you can relate to that. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So what's one fear you would love to conquer?
Oh gosh. I would say no matter what, anxiety before a game.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
It's just it's never going to be conquered. And everyone says they're nervous before games and, playing you're nervous. And then once the jump ball goes up and you run up and down the floor twice, it's just another game, but not knowing that you can be out there, again, I know the kids in our program prepare themselves. They work hard as individuals and a team, and we work hard as a staff. I mean, we watch endless amount of film and try to be more prepared every game, than the opposing team. Are we? I don't know. I think in a way we are. Success shows that, but I don't think I'll ever get rid of that fear. But I would like to get rid of that fear. But yeah, I would say the nerves and anxiety just before a game.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Like before slow pitch softball games, doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter if we're up 20-0. Guys might get frustrated with me, but like, keep it going. They could come back.
Right.
It's truth though. I mean, teams do come back. Things happen. You're just gonna have a bad moment. The environment, something kicks a bucket, and then they're working their way back. And yeah, I'm always like me too. It's slow pitch softball lead. I mean, the anxiety is always before the game, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
And some days, even when you're confident.
Right. Yeah. You never want to get too overconfident.
No, it pays off. When you're
Yep.
like, I think anxiety for a game, to be honest with you, I think it keeps you on your toes and
Right.
keeps your team on your toes, and you see it pay off, I think,
Yeah,
sometimes.
definitely.
Talk about your most memorable basketball game. It could be when you played basketball for Bishop O'Hara, University of Scranton. It could be as an assistant coach or whatever you did. What's the most memorable game that stick in your head, and why?
Uh, I have two.
Go for it.
They're both high school. I will say I had great experiences in all of basketball. Grade school, my uncle was a coach, a phenomenal coach that just stressed fundamentals and got me to where I needed to be. College, I'll save the high school for last. College, I played for Coach Beswar at the University of Scranton. I started every game of my career. We made 2 NCAA tournaments, won a league title, and had success, as a team and an individual because of my teammates and, just because of the coaching staff. And going to high school, obviously playing for my dad was not easy. But at the end, you realize, everything he was doing was to push you and to be a better individual, off the
Yeah.
court,
Yep.
and then which relates to on the court. So the two games have to be both Eastern finals. So in 1996, I was a junior. The rest of my starters and friends were seniors, and we were middle of the pack in the middle of the year. One of our best players got injured, and he came back, Mike Reno, and we just went on a tear. And we won the Eastern Final at Martz Hall against Greentown out of Harrisburg. And just remember Hershey Kisses raining down, knowing you're going to the state championship. I had a huge family supporting cast. My mom's one of 6, my dad's one of 7. So I had about 100 people at the game and sharing it with them and my dad. To go to Hershey was just something I'll never forget. And I won't forget it too, because even the guys you see now, which obviously it's about almost 30 years later, you still go back to that season no matter when I see them, and then the other one is, again, when we made it Hershey, I was an assistant coach, and my brother Connor was the starting point guard. And again, we won at Martz Hall against Trinity, same celebration, and just seeing him get to do what we all did, get my dad there a second time, and the success the kids had was, it makes it rewarding. Even if you don't make the state championship, it still shows, the work and what you put into it pays off. And we didn't win either game, so that can't be my favorite. The playing at Hershey Arena. My junior year, we were up 1 going into the fourth quarter, and the team, Juniata Valley out of Pittsburgh, hit 6 threes to start the quarter. So it went from being up 1 to down 17 in a matter of minutes. And my brother's year, when I was an assistant, we lost to Beaver Falls, which was heartbreaking. That was a close one. I think it was like 72-68. But yeah, both Eastern finals to go to the state championship were memorable.
That's special. Definitely special, especially with your dad. Was he head coach 96? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Was
He took over. He went to Bishop O'Hara in 92, 93, and then coached up until last year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, he was very successful. Wow.
And on that team with my brother in 2013 was 2 of my assistant coaches, Corey Joyce,
wow,
and Kyler Kovaleski.
Wow. And he coached with McNamara? Was he?
No, he was at Bishop Hannon.
Huh?
He was at Bishop Hannon.
Yeah, that's right. My bad. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, Bishop O'Hara, though, was good for many years. And then Holy Cross and stuff. Yeah, it was special. Definitely.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's good memories. Especially with your dad, your brother, and all that, and yeah, you can't forget that. You
Right.
know, but to make a state championship, that's successful. You know, and
Yeah, and it
hopefully,
helps. It helps. It helps with
yeah,
coaching the kids now.
yeah,
Doing it as a player and an assistant coach,
yeah,
you kind of have an idea of what it takes to get there, and it's a lot easier to relate to the
yeah,
kids you're coaching now.
yeah,
Just being in it for so long, every game in our league
yeah.
is not easy,
No, it's not.
especially on the road. And these kids are getting it, and
Yeah,
they even though they're young,
yeah,
they're listening to everything we have to say, about coming out one game, and that could be the game where it's a loss and
hmm
things go downhill, and they don't. And as of now, and I'm glad we have experiences that we could give them, and I think it's helping them.
yeah. Yeah, you have. Like I'm gonna ask you, obviously, this question there. But you have a couple of freshmen, and my wish, I hope, hopefully you could win a state championship for Holy Cross, and to take over your dad and your experience and all that. It could happen. Just keep believing, man. Keep getting the
Yeah,
right players. You can do it. Not easy.
we got Riverside Monday. I'm not going to think
Yeah,
about that state championship for a while.
yeah, right. I know that's how
Um,
I was.
no, yeah, Riverside Monday, Mid
Yeah,
Valley Thursday, both at home. So yeah, I mean that's always obviously the end goal.
yeah,
You go through really four parts. When you
yep,
start, kind of want to win the line of tournament.
yeah.
Um, you want to win your league.
hmm
You want to win your district, and if you get into the state tournament, you
Yeah,
want to win. You want to win every Wednesday and Saturday, and see
yeah.
how far you could go.
Definitely. It's always hard. I know. But yeah, I'm excited. It's so cool to see like your dad was coach and you took over. I think just for me as a person, I think it's awesome to see stuff like that and really it is.
Right.
So, I look forward to what you could do with the program. So my next question is you were an assistant under your dad for a few years at Holy Cross. He was one of the best areas best. What did you learn from him?
Preparation. He was always prepared. Going into every game with film, with notes and tendencies on every player, what the opposing team's going to do, what we can do to be successful was a huge part.
Oh,
There were no soft practices. It didn't matter, the night before a game. You could go some nights till 9:30 at night, knowing you're playing at 7 o'clock the next night. He was just
oh,
raised in an old school way, and the kids listened, and discipline is the other trait or characteristic that he had. Um, and it's hard nowadays. People are saying kids are changing, but I'm a first grade teacher, high school coach, and the more disciplined you are as a team and an individual, it still leads to the greater success. And there's at times where kids don't buy into it, and a lot of our kids have, and they may not see it now, but I think you realize in the long run, that everybody was looking out for your best interest. And if a coach makes a mistake, they make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. But definitely, being disciplined and preparation were two traits that I got from him. And again, that comes from living with him and him being my father too. That was the same thing growing up. Anything you did, how you do anything is how you do everything is a quote I love and live by.
yeah, this is like music to my ears.
Yeah.
But kids are changing. That's interesting. I mean, for me, I mean, I know what you mean by that. Like, I'm sure people said it because I've heard things from other areas. Oh, people are changing. But when it comes to sports, I don't think the philosophy changes to be
Right.
successful. I think it's the same thing because humans are always the same. Even I look back, you know, If you want to go from like 2,000 years ago, biblical days, whatever people believe, um, people is always the same. I've learned that this year. I did some research on history. People never really changed. Like they're still
Right.
people. So it's the same philosophy. I think most of the time, especially in sports, they either buy
Yeah.
into the program or they're not. They either believe in
Yep.
you and trust you, but your success or your past or your experience or what the coach has to offer them, and that they know the coach has the best interest in that athlete in that team, or they don't. If they don't, then it could hurt the team. But or they find their way on the bench somewhere. But if they do, it could bring good things. So that's just what I believe.
Yeah, no, and it's a hard thing in basketball. We
Mm-hmm.
have a talented group
Mm-hmm.
of kids, and basketball you get 5 starters. It's not similar to football where you have 11
Yeah,
or soccer,
definitely.
or baseball where you have 9 designated hitter, you're up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, you have 5.
Yeah.
And based off of that, if you want to keep your starters minutes and keep them in a groove,
Mm-hmm.
you really only have room for 2 or 3 subs. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard in a way because, right now people want instant gratification,
They
and
do.
if it doesn't happen to them now, they're done. And it just can't be that way. You have to be willing to be part of the team, and when your time comes,
Oh yeah.
be ready. But again, I always say and ask kids this: did you do what we asked of you this summer? If you could answer that, you can answer you've worked out on your own to whatever degree you went to, in terms of your work ethic, and did everything possible. Would you be out there or wouldn't you? And that's what I'm talking about when I mean discipline.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody just practices for 2 hours, are you getting better than the individual in front of you? You got to have time on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it comes into each individual, and guys that are 9 and 10 have to be willing to wait their turn, and you have to do it on your own. You then have to show it in practice
Mm-hmm.
before a game. Just some people come to games and just assume you're not giving this person a shot.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that way. It's did you put the work in the summer? Did you come to all our open gyms?
Mm-hmm.
And then are you doing it in practice? And if you are, yeah, it's hard. It's hard coming off the bench because you have to be successful in a small amount of minutes where you're a starter and not getting that luxury of 25 minutes a game. But, as in terms of our team now, I feel they've bought in. We had a phenomenal game last night where we were up 14, then we were down 10. Mario Matrone hit a buzzer beater to send it into 2 overtimes.
Oh, wow.
We ended up winning at Old Forge last night,
Oh my gosh.
66-63. And we had 7 guys play over 20 minutes, and each guy contributed at some point. And
Wow.
and that was for being 14-2, I felt last night was another turning point. Like things could have been south, like where you say,
Mm-hmm.
there's rooms to pout.
Yeah.
We had reasons to pout last night, and
Yeah.
we just never did. And I think last night was a turning point. Like I said, for being 14-2, but last night could turn the corner to a more successful season.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. Like you guys were in several close games, and like in my experience, again, only go back to what I do. Just in men's pitch softball league, is like sometimes it's not always about how much you win by. It's the moment some player steps up to help you win the game, and the point is you came and you won, and that's what actually matters more. That they knew this is the time that we're going to win this game, and yeah, it's amazing when athletes could do that, and as you've been seeing that with your team, and yeah, hopefully by the time you guys get to playoffs, like, be awesome to see what you guys could do. So
Yeah.
we'll move on. In your own words, what makes a good athlete?
I mean, I'm going to go back to what I said before.
Yeah.
The number one thing you need, and again, I have 2 girls. Brielle, my daughter's in 4th grade, and Aubrey, my daughter's in 7th grade. What makes a good athlete, and I'm a firm believer of this since becoming a parent, is you you can't put anything on them. Like they have to have a love of what they do before they meet, a coach or anyone else. Yeah, they may fall in love with the sport, even with the coach, or teammates, but you have to have that individual desire
Definitely.
to do things on your own. I feel that's number one. Just growing up, I had a 300 shot routine that I did almost every day.
Oh, wow.
And I was getting recruited in high school. It was in my backyard. It was 100 3-pointers, 100 free throws, 50 mid-range jump shots, and 50 shots off the dribble. But I mean, I did it religiously every day. There were actually times I was getting recruited in college, and my mom asked the coaches if I could call them back because I was doing my workout. So, I just think an individual desire and then, an adaptability to not only be successful as an individual, but, be a team player.
Definitely.
And that's my belief, to be becoming a good athlete.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. So my next question is, coming into the season this year as a first-year head coach, did you have any expectations?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I never expected us to be 14-2. I never expected to be 8-0 in the league at this point, just because we had one starter returning, Michael Hughes, who was basically our fourth or fifth option last year. And now he's turned into number one. Matt Lyons is a junior that's he's been phenomenal. He doesn't get nearly as much credit as he deserves, probably because he's not going to score 25, 30 points. I mean, he could, but he just defends and rebounds like no other in this league and in this area, and he scores. But he was coming off the bench last year as a sixth or seventh guy. And then, everyone else that came barely played varsity. Mario Matrone, Austin Bicking, CJ Thompson now, who's a freshman, Charlie O'Malley, who's our only senior, and Adam Baderka, who's another freshman. Those other five, I mean, barely played. So I expected us, to be good. And they've been in the program besides the freshmen. And, we've changed some things as in terms of plays and defenses, but I never expected it to happen this quick. But again, they've all bought in to the culture. They're all becoming leaders. I don't know if we really have one leader, but we have a group of leaders. So,
definitely.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect to be what we are at this point, but I'm happy we are.
Yeah, I've been to I think it was like 2 or 3 games to watch your team play. Yeah, I was very impressed, and especially with the young players, which brings me to the last question. You have some freshmen that are really stepping up this year, as you mentioned. How will this help you transition as a head coach and for the future of Holy Cross basketball program over the next few years?
They are the two freshmen that are playing a lot now minutes are very good. And again, like I said before we started the interview, we have 3 other freshmen that play the majority of JV and have gotten in some varsity. Colin Ritterbush, Colin Farrell, and Jack Alpert, who are getting great experience not only in JV games but in practice. Consistently going against the varsity players. So in terms of the future, it just makes it that much easier when you have 4-year varsity players. For the most part, when freshmen come up, they're sophomores and they may not get a shot until their junior or senior year. So this is a rare occurrence that you have a class that's going to be there for 4 years, that's going to understand all the offenses and defenses, is going to be able to communicate together, teach everyone else. And it's something that we've never had. I've never been a part of something where we have this many freshmen up, and we also have, very good juniors and sophomores, but we also have a freshman class that's playing freshman basketball. I think that's about 10-1, and we have we have 5 of their players up too. So
Oh,
the future is pretty bright. But it's also a family. Even though guys graduate, they always come back and check how we're doing, or they'll write to me or other coaches on social media. A lot of kids that have graduated come back during Christmas and practice. We've had 3 former players come back and give speeches and lectures on what it takes to be a student athlete at Holy Cross. So it's more of a family environment. The freshmen have a leg up and they'll be able to teach everybody how it's done in the upcoming years, but it also goes to the seniors and the kids that have graduated.
yeah, awesome. It was an awesome interview, and thank you for coming on here, Al. And yeah, this has been awesome, and I wish you luck for the rest of the season and your playoffs and in your future and coaching career. And I definitely going to be following you guys and you throughout your coaching career, and hopefully somewhere in next several years you can win a state championship or something. That'll be cool.
You're putting the pressure on. You're putting the pressure on.
I believe.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. I hope so too. Yeah, thanks for what you're doing too. Getting us on a platform, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I haven't done a podcast, and obviously I watched some, but I had this was great. I appreciate everything you've done. Good luck with everything you're doing too.
Thank you, and you're welcome. And yeah, we'll be in touch.
Definitely. The only thing you got to change is that hat. Is that a Cleveland hat or a Clemson hat?
It's a Clemson hat.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Then. I thought it was a Cleveland Cavaliers. All right. I know you're a big Clemson fan, so
yeah,
that's all right.
I am. Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you. Have a good night, bud.
All right. Thank you. See you later.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.